And in sports, an Ohio women's basketball player was named MAC Player of the Week. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting Southeast Ohio. I'm Delaney Ruth. Thank you for joining us. Ohio University is moving forward with cost-cutting initiatives. Anna Azalian is in studio to break down what you need to know.
Well, Delaney, there are a few big takeaways from the Board of Trustees meeting late last week. First is the financial situation at the university. You can see on this graph, total enrollment for Ohio University has been declining since 2015. The numbers you're seeing on your screen are the total number of students enrolled at the main and branch campuses of Ohio University as an undergraduate, graduate, or medical student. Decreased enrollment means the university is bringing in less revenue, but President Dwayne Nellis says this does not mean the university is in a budget crisis.
We're in a very solid financial situation right now, but we need to pivot in new ways relative to the evolving expectations of businesses, expectations relative to changes in quality of life. There are a lot of different variables that are driving this. We're being affected by a lot of different external variables, and we need to respond internally as we readjust.
Now, decreased revenue does mean the university is looking for ways to cut costs. It needs to spend less money because it's taking in less money. One of the things the university is doing to cut costs is offering early retirement incentives. Trustees approved the measure on Friday, and it would allow tenured faculty and custodial staff to retire at the end of this semester. Qualifying faculty will be able to opt in starting at the beginning of next month. They'll have most of the semester to decide if they want to participate. And the Vice President for Finance and Administration said there's no target number of faculty they're hoping will take part in the program. The administration has not said, however, what incentives will be available or what conditions faculty will have to meet to be eligible. And several faculty members have been voicing their concerns about issues resulting from the university's financial situation. One of the things some faculty say they're concerned about is how retiring faculty will impact their teaching loads and research time. But the provost says faculty should not be worried.
Goal is equity. Equity means that if I have two faculty members again, one is active in research. In all fairness, they have limited time. So if they're active in research, they have less time, so they will teach a little bit. If you look at the portfolio, you have a certain number of hours per day, certain things. So, and then if somebody is not that active in research, of course, they will have more teaching on the portfolio. It's not so. This statement that we're going to increase the teaching load of everybody, put that to rest. That's not true. That's not the goal.
Now, it's not clear what he defines as being more or less active in research. President Nellis says he's listening to the concerns from faculty, though. He says he met with the American Association of University Professors, which is an organization that organized a silent protest at Friday's meeting. President Nellis also says the Faculty Senate is the official voice for faculty. Both of these organizations have events coming up in the next few weeks. The OU chapter of AAUP is having an open forum for faculty next Friday, and the next Faculty Senate meeting is February 3rd. And Delaney, these topics continue to develop as the administration moves forward with the initiatives they discussed and as these meetings take place. So of course, we'll continue to update with the latest information.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you.
The state of Ohio is offering a cheaper way for Ohio homeowners to build a tornado shelter. The Ohio Safe Room Rebate Program is offering a 75% rebate to single-family homeowners. You can apply through April 6th. Then the computer will randomly draw about 100 winners. The maximum rebate is nearly $5,000. Now let's take a brief look at our regional weather.
Good afternoon. I'm your forecaster, Ben Byers, here with the weather. This week will be very clear, as 28 in Columbus, 28 in Newark, 27 in New Lexington, and right now on the big temperature map, 27 in Cambridge, 30.
A billion miles from the sun.
Every time we think we have Saturn pegged, another piece of evidence tells us no, everything we thought was wrong.
The most mysterious and alluring of the planets. But the discoveries came at a cost.
I was supposed to call end of mission. I couldn't get the words out.
It's still hard.
The planets, Saturn, on Nova.
Houston, where West Africa meets America.
Nigerians love spicy food.
Yeah. Tell me about the suya Hennessy chicken, because those are like some of the best things in life. This dish, I really feel African.
That's what we're shooting for.
Now it's cool to be African. That's the flyest chef jacket I've ever seen. Ever.
This is us. We have arrived. We have arrived.
No passport required.
On Secrets of the Dead, a daring escape from the world's most notorious extermination camp.
They escaped in order to warn the world that Auschwitz was a killing mechanism.
You must tell me everything.
There are gas chambers, leading to one of the greatest moral dilemmas of the 20th century.
The only way to take out the instrument of killing was to bomb the camp.
Bombing Auschwitz on Secrets of the Dead.
Experience the natural world of the North Atlantic through the eyes of the Vikings. Without map or compass, Vikings navigated the seas. Nature was their partner and guide. This is an epic tale where spectacular wildlife meets the wild lives of Vikings.
The Richland Avenue Pedestrian Passageway project in Athens will begin construction in March. This project is a $3.6 million collaboration between Ohio University and the city of Athens. The goal is to make the crossing connecting West Green and the center of campus safer. Starting in March, both directions of Richland Avenue between West Green and Bobcat Lane will be closed. Officials expect the road to reopen in August. Another Ohio county may soon become a Second Amendment sanctuary county. All three Vinton County commissioners have voiced their approval of the idea. Becoming a Second Amendment sanctuary would mean Vinton County would not enforce gun safety laws and firearm confiscation statutes that are said to contest the Second Amendment. Vinton County would join Belmont, Meigs, and Ross counties if the proposition is approved. Prescription drugs could become much more affordable in West Virginia. A bill which was passed in the House of Delegates will give consumers any drug manufacturer rebates that are typically sent to pharmacies. The GOP-controlled chamber approved the measure earlier today. The proposal now moves to the state Senate for consideration. A project to expand rural broadband in 5 counties in West Virginia will receive additional funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. These 5 counties in north central West Virginia will receive an additional $18.7 million from the USDA. The project, which will cost around $25 million in total, will be constructed by the Harrison Rural Electrification Association. It will connect more than 6,000 households in the region to high-speed internet. Officials say it will take around 3 years to complete once work begins. Every year, people across the country celebrate the life of Martin Luther King Jr. on the 3rd Monday of January. At Ohio University, a week of events kicked off Monday morning with a silent march and brunch. WOUB's Taylor Breck reports more than 100 people participated in Monday morning's celebration.
That's right, people bundled up and braved the cold at the silent march to honor Dr. King for his work toward racial equality and justice for all people.
A day on, not a day off. Students, faculty, and community members marched silently Monday morning in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated organized this year's march. The president of the fraternity, Tyrell Carter, says the silent event is important for everyone to continue moving forward, which is also the National MLK Day theme for 2020.
We are all together, we're locked armed. That's what he wanted, that's what his dream was about, and you dream in silence, you're not talking to your dreams.
The event began with a prayer service in Galbraith Chapel before the march. Locked arm in arm, attendees continued through College Green and ended at the top of Baker Center, where a brunch took place. Carter says the event is centered around togetherness.
It really just shows that everyone's together, shows that everyone cares and everyone is actually trying to make a change and make a step and modeling a new way and challenging the process.
The brunch featured food, performances from OU organizations, and a keynote speaker. But the celebration doesn't stop there. Events will be held throughout the week.
Thank you, Taylor. Several House Republicans will be helping President Trump in the U.S. Senate impeachment trial. The White House announced these GOP representatives will join President Trump's Senate impeachment team, but a source says they are not expected to speak on the Senate floor. Their roles appear to be largely ceremonial roles. The lawmakers will reportedly serve as outside advisors and surrogates for the president. House members have already begun meeting regularly with Mr. Trump's lawyers to help prepare them for the floor arguments. The impeachment trial is expected to begin Tuesday. The Senate impeachment trial of President Donald Trump is on. But first, there were a number of administrative duties for the Senate to consider, including voting on a resolution that will set the rules for the trial. Camilla Bernal is on the Capitol Hill with the very latest.
As the Senate gets ready to begin the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump, there's still a fight over how it will proceed. Democrats accusing Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of rushing the process and attempting to cover up President Trump's alleged wrongdoing. And Republicans arguing the Senate process will be fair. But reaffirming the Senate will not reinvestigate the president. This begins just the third presidential impeachment trial in U.S. history, following President Trump's impeachment on December 18th. Once the debate over the rules is complete, the next step in the trial is opening arguments, where the House impeachment managers and President Trump's legal team will each get 24 hours to present their case. On Capitol Hill, I'm Camilla Bernal reporting.
We are so sorry for the audio difficulties, but we'll continue to update you here on Newswatch as the impeachment trial continues. With all the buzz about how dangerous vaping can be for young people, you'd think the number of users would start to decline. But according to a new study by the Truth Initiative, an anti-tobacco advocacy group, juul use increased last year. The company has been the focus of a number of investigations and lawsuits targeting the issue of vaping among youth. According to the study published Tuesday, juul use actually doubled among 15 to 34-year-olds, and the percentage of people who tried juul went up from 6% in 2018 to almost 14% in 2019. In past statements, the company maintains it has taken various actions to limit kids from using its products. It is worth noting, since the study's data was collected, juul has removed flavored products from the U.S. market due to underage usage. A royal source confirms lawyers for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have issued warning to the media over the use of paparazzi photos. Some media outlets published photos of Meghan and baby Archie while they were in the woods in Canada. According to UK media outlets, the lawyers claim the photos were taken without consent and accused the paparazzi of harassment. Prince Harry returned to Canada today to rejoin Meghan and Archie. Planning to run a marathon in 2020? It could provide major health benefits. The story when we return.
And it'll be a clear week this week, but will we have snow come this weekend? Find out on the weather next time on Newswatch.
Houston, where West Africa meets America.
Nigerians love spicy food.
Yeah. Tell me about the suya Hennessy chicken, because those are like some of the best things in life. This dish, I really feel African.
That's what we're shooting for.
Now it's cool to be African. That's the flyest chef jacket I've ever seen. Ever.
This is us. We have arrived. We have arrived.
No passport required.
On Secrets of the Dead, a daring escape from the world's most notorious extermination camp.
They escaped in order to warn the world that Auschwitz was a killing mechanism.
You must tell me everything.
There are gas chambers. Leading to one of the greatest moral dilemmas of the 20th century.
The only way to take out the instrument of killing was to bomb the camp.
Bombing Auschwitz on Secrets of the Dead.
A billion miles from the sun.
Every time we think we have Saturn pegged, another piece of evidence tells us no, everything we thought was wrong.
The most mysterious and alluring of the planets. But the discoveries came at a cost.
I was supposed to call end of mission. I couldn't get the words out.
It's still hard.
The planets. Saturn. On Nova.
Urban Southern whites with Puerto Ricans and blacks. Housing issues, police brutality. That's what we could all agree on, was for those neighborhoods to come together.
That was the beauty of it. The world was on fire and we were part of that flame.
We're gonna fight racism, not racism, but we're gonna fight with solidarity.
It's the Rainbow Coalition, but it didn't matter what color you wore us with pride.
The first Rainbow Coalition.
Welcome back. I'm your forecaster, Ben Byers, here with the weather. Here we can see the visible satellite right now. We can see our area is very clear of cloud coverage, And that is all because of the high pressure. And here we can see in the temperature map, this trough area, the jet stream has really made this trough, which is why we are seeing these cold temperatures, especially in these southern regions, but mostly in our Ohio area. The big temperature map, 27 in Cambridge, 30 in New Martinsville, 30 in Marietta, 30 in Ripley, 30 in Athens, 27 in New Lexington, 28 in Newark, 28 in Columbus, 30 in Chillicothe, 32 in Jackson. And that is the temperature for right now. For tonight in Athens, 15 degrees. It's going to be a cold night, so if you do go out tonight, make sure to wear a jacket. Humidity, 73%, pretty high, but winds at least won't be a problem. Northwest at 0 to 5 miles an hour. So at least the temperature, there should be no feels like temperature. Hour by hour for tonight, 8 p.m., 21 degrees. Clear, 10 p.m., 19 degrees, clear and cool, and 12 a.m., 17 degrees and patchy fog. And that patchy fog will be because of the high humidity, but overall a pretty clear night, but a cold one. The big temperature map for tonight, 14 in Newark, 14 in New Lexington, 15 in Athens, 14 in Ripley, 14 in Marietta, 16 in New Martinsville, 14 in Cambridge, 14 in Columbus, 15 in Chillicothe, and 15 in Jackson. So throughout the area, a very cold night. For Athens for tomorrow, 42 degrees. It'll warm up and the humidity will lessen. And again, wind, no big deal for us tomorrow. The big temperature map for tomorrow, 40 in Cambridge, 40 in Newark, 37 in Columbus, 41 in Chillicothe, 42 in Jackson, 43 in Ironton, 45 in Ripley, and 40 in Newark. So overall, across the region, much warmer. Here we can see the reason for this clear area is because this high pressure system, and that is what is giving us this clear sky. But as you can see, it's going to start moving out of the area. And here is where we will start to, this pressure system down here will lead us to the snow. For the 7-day forecast for the week ahead, 41 in Wednesday, Thursday 47 degrees, Friday 44 degrees, Saturday 39 degrees, Sunday 38 degrees, Monday 42 degrees, and Tuesday 44 degrees. And here's where we see that snow. Sunday, 40% chance, and Saturday there'll be a possible rain and snow mixture. And I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Brian. Ever thought about running a marathon? Well, a new study suggests doing so may help you live longer. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
If your New Year's resolution was to exercise more, you might want to set your sights on a marathon. New research suggests training and running a marathon for the first time could reverse some of the effects of our body's aging. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology examined more than 130 people who had just completed their first marathon. The untrained but healthy competitors underwent 6 months of training for the London Marathon. Researchers say their findings show the training and marathon completion, even at a relatively low exercise intensity, reduced age-related stiffening of the body's main artery and helped lower blood pressure. Researchers say those studied had a 4-year reduction in their vascular age. The greatest benefit was found to be in older male participants with slower running times. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Athens Marathon will take place on April 19th this year.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Coming up in sports, the Ohio men's basketball team looks to pick up its second straight MAC win tonight at the Convo against Toledo. And right after the break, find out which Ohio women's basketball player picked up MAC weekly honors after an impressive play last week. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Urban Southern whites with Puerto Ricans and blacks. Housing issues, police brutality. That's what we could all agree on, was for those neighborhoods to come together.
That was the beauty of it. The world was on fire and we were part of that flame.
We're going to fight racism, not racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity.
It's the Rainbow Coalition, but it didn't matter what color you wore this with pride.
The first Rainbow Coalition. What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
Houston, where West Africa meets America.
Nigerians love spicy food.
Yeah. Tell me about the suya Hennessy chicken, because those are like some of the best things in life. This dish, I really feel African.
That's what we're shooting for.
Now it's cool to be African. That's the flyest chef jacket I've ever seen. Ever.
This is us. We have arrived. We have arrived.
No passport required.
On Secrets of the Dead, a daring escape from the world's most notorious extermination camp.
They escaped in order to warn the world that Auschwitz was a killing mechanism.
You must tell me everything.
There are gas chambers. Leading to one of the greatest moral dilemmas of the 20th century.
The only way to take out the instrument of killing was to bomb the camp.
Bombing Auschwitz on Secrets of the Dead.
Well, it was no surprise that Cece Hooks was going to be named MAC East Player of the Week after the offensive clinic she put on in Ohio's 2 games last week. She simply could not be stopped. Last Wednesday, Hooks tallied a season-high 28 points against Western Michigan. Her offensive dominance continued on Saturday against Ball State. Hooks scored 25 points to lead all Bobcats.
Well, I've been putting in a lot of extra work before practice and after practice. I do like 30-minute workouts with Coach Bob, so that helped me a lot this week. I was finishing more of my shots this week also because I've been missing a lot of layups, so I feel like preparation helped me a lot this week.
There's a lot of unsung heroes every time Cece Hooks shoots a layup, right? We've talked about this in the past. We have to move so many people out of the way. because everybody knows CC Hooks wants to shoot a layup. I mean, you saw how they played her today. They were from me to you from her, right? Like, they're just going to let her shoot. And to her credit, she still shot 16 layups. And the whole goal was to not let CC shoot a layup.
Hooks is also good on a defensive end, and the Bobcats as a team have excelled on defense this season. They currently rank 4th in the MAC in scoring defense, allowing just over 64 points per game. Even though the Bobcats look better statistically, they believe they can still improve throughout the rest of MAC play.
Oh, I mean, I think we're still struggling a little bit. You know, we got to be better. We got to be better defensively. I think we're doing a better job of protecting gaps and limiting drives. I think we're fouling less. Probably statistically speaking, the fouls are less this year than last year, I would guess. But we still have a ways to go in that area.
The Ohio men's basketball team is in action tonight at the Convo. The Bobcats will tip off against Toledo at the top of the hour. The Bobcats look to keep their winning ways alive after a hard-fought 60-58 win over Eastern Michigan over the weekend. Toledo is also coming off a victory. The Rockets took down Akron 99-89 in an offensive slugfest. Ohio and Toledo have identical records at 8-10 and also have the same conference records at 2-3. It looks to be a good matchup. For coverage of the game, be sure to go to woub.org/sports. Yesterday it was announced that Ohio volleyball assistant coach and recruiting coordinator Maggie Kuchar was named the new head coach at Jacksonville University. Kuchar spent the last 6 seasons at Ohio and brought in 5 nationally recognized recruiting classes, which included multiple All-MAC selections. With Kuchar overseeing the Bobcats' academic progress, there's an increase in team GPA over the last 4 semesters. High school boys basketball is back in action tonight. WOUB's Hardwood Heroes will have the coverage of some of the TVC Ohio games. Athens is looking to snap a 17-game winning streak after they beat Marietta on Friday. They will face Warren tonight. Trimble is back in action tonight. After a win against Nelsonville York, the Tomcats will be welcoming Southern to Gloucester. Lastly, Federal Hawking is hosting Belpre. For coverage of these games and more, go to woub.org/heroes. Now, Delaney, it gets exciting here towards this part of the season as teams look to get closer and closer to the district playoffs. I'm looking forward to seeing some packed gyms around the area.
Yeah, there's really nothing like high school basketball in southeastern Ohio. Thank you so much, Brian. It was great.
Yep, thanks.
And what would you say if instead of thinking about what a 5-year-old boy could get for his birthday in Illinois, he thought about what he could give? Tyler Sliss started helping kids in need through donated bedding. Sliss has collected blankets, pillows, and sheets for a group called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. The organization builds, assembles, and delivers beds to children in need. Tyler's contribution started with a video to guests for his birthday party in October, asking donations instead of presents. Now let's head over to Ben for a final look at the weather.
For Athens tomorrow, 42 degrees, and it'll warm up from today. The humidity 53% and winds not too bad, 0 to 5 miles per hour. So you'll still want to put a pretty heavy jacket on, but at least we won't have those temperatures in the teens like we have been having. For the big temperature map today for tomorrow, 40 in Newark, 40 in New Lexington, 42 in Athens, 45 in Ripley, 42 in Marietta, 42 in New Martinsville, 40 in Newark, and 37 in Columbus. And for the 7-day forecast this week ahead, 41 on Wednesday, on Thursday, 47 degrees, and on Friday, 44 degrees. And back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Ben. Well, that about does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Delaney Ruth. And make sure you can stay tuned for the next hour of PBS and coming up next. And remember, you can always find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
The most mysterious and alluring of the planets.
Every time we think we have Saturn pegged, another piece of evidence tells us no, everything we thought was wrong.
The planets. Saturn. On Nova.
Support comes from Goldsberry Wealth Strategies in Athens and Parkersburg, focusing on helping people achieve a life they dreamt of with a custom strategy. Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC.
Good evening, I'm Judy Woodruff on the NewsHour tonight.
The most important question is the question you must answer today.